What's up? What's up? Hang tight with me as I get started here. Ooh, yeah. One moment. Let me get this fired over here. Oops. Got a lot of screens open all of a sudden. You guys can hear me, I hope. That's good. Good. Let's share a screen. Share a screen. Share a screen. Screen one. Share. Holy smokes. Let's see if we can get this over to this. Let me just see something. Hang tight with me, guys. I'm just getting it all set up. We can get started. Y'all see my screen? See my screen, everyone? Give me a little yes if you can see my screen. We'll do some. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of Q&A. I think Q&A is boring, to be honest with you. I get the same questions every week for the last 3 years of my life. I'd rather freaking talk money because I like that part of the game more than citations and backlinks. And do I need a anchor text for my influence link? It's like, come on, let's make some dough. Okay. The only way to make dough is if you know how to price and sell your services. Okay. And I think this is a major flaw on my part in the training that I've given you guys is that, well, I'll say this, that there's a lot of people in Job Killing. There's a lot of people that go through this training and are not entrepreneurs yet. This is their first run at it. They're unsure of themselves. They are easily discouraged. They don't want to make any decisions for themselves. And because I give the answer generally of, hey, what your value is versus what my value is two different things. So you need to price your services accordingly. It's not the greatest answer. Anxiety to not know the answer to what they should be charging for their services or their leads that they're sending or their phone calls that they're sending, or if they're selling something as a standalone product, they have really no basis on how to price. And so part of what I wanted to do was kind of walk you through this new creation. I kind of leaked it a little bit a few weeks ago. I've kind of used it and shown a couple people it inside of the program over the last little bit. And so I want to kind of walk you through some of these things. So you guys, it'll make a little more sense on what all this stuff means. So let's just go kind of bang through this one by one. You guys are able to see my screen fairly good. No, if it's blurry, whatever. I'm trying to watch two screens at once, so you guys can message in the chat right below this video if anything's going wrong, and I'll keep an eye on that stuff. So I think number one, we don't do enough research before we go into a niche. This is so evident to me as far as watching. I see every person that gets a phone number. I see what niches they go into, and it's always the same few niches. And I don't believe anyone's doing research. I think most people are just monkey see, monkey do, and they're Me Too marketers. I want you guys to stop being a Me Too marketer. I don't want you just following what you see in the group. I don't want you following because someone else was successful. I don't want you following them just because they were successful, and you're blindly walking into a niche or to a space where you may have no idea if it's even good in your market or not. And so that's kind of step number one. Step number two is we got this fantastic tool. It's called Google. And Google, we can look up anything that we want, right? We can look up anything so quickly. Tell me if you could, I don't know if I'm switching tabs, if it's following my screen. Let me just see here. Can you guys, I don't know how much. Okay, good. We're good. Okay, so average margin of a carpet cleaner. How many of you guys have done this type of a search before you've went into a niche? How many of you guys have actually taken a second to figure out what the margins are for your business? I see a lot of people And when we get into this pricing point, we really don't know. We've never really walked a mile in the shoes of the business owner that we're trying to sell. We don't know what their margins are historically or in this region. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you that you're going to find the perfect information. I'm not going to tell you that these margins are 100% on, but it's a lot closer. You're going to be a lot closer to a business's margins when you do some research on them. So check this out. So I just did what's the margins of a carpet cleaner. And I find this site. I don't know, just because this site is up doesn't mean it's the Bible, doesn't mean it's the gospel. And you know, so I got to take it with a grain of salt. But as I read through this, I can kind of see that, okay, margin, the value of the sale, let's see, blah, 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 blah. It kind of gives me the average billable job is between 140 and 210 for a carpet cleaner. And the margin is about 60.6%. On Google search, I actually have some information about the business that I'm thinking about going into. So I have some like raw data, and it breaks it down even more. You got labor costs, insurance, transpo. I mean, this is kind of cool. You know, we look at all these different things as part of this business, and we start to walk a mile in the shoes of the business owner that we're trying to sell. Let me tell you something, guys. When you speak to a business owner on their level, when you know their business better than probably some of them know their business, okay? When you're able to tell them about their margins and you understand the things that they have, their liability, their auto policy, their workman's comp, when you know these different numbers, you're dangerous. You don't look like just some chump that's just trying to sell them something. You look like an absolute professional that can actually educate them in their own space. You can become the expert even though you're not a carpet cleaner yourself in this example, okay? So if I could go over, now that I know some basic numbers, I can say, okay, we got 140 to 210. So I could take a number in the middle of that. So let's just call it 160, 170, 165. So I'm going to go into this calculator. I'm going to say the average ticket of the product or service is about $165 per month, or excuse me, $165 per job. Then per month, this is where you can look at some of the raw data that you guys are getting from your lead gen sites. Now, let's back up though. Let's just say how much leads. You don't know how many leads you're going to get. You have no clue. Maybe you're going to get 10 leads a month. Maybe you're going to get 100, but you don't know because you're brand new going into a new niche and you don't know what the market bears at this point. If you look at any business plan ever, there's always something that gets done is there's projections. You have to start projecting what you believe. Have a high, have a medium, have a low. Okay. I didn't go to business school. If it's really blurry for you, just click the gearbox and move it to HD. It just needs to render a little bit. Okay. You need to put some projections in there. So we could start with, man, on the low end, man, if I'm not getting them 50 leads a month, I'm failing. Or if I'm not getting them 100 leads a month, like my projections for the site is I want 100 phone calls a month. So what does that break down to a day? You know, you can start to backtrack your math. Now, if you already have your numbers and you generated 150 leads last month for this niche that you're in, then put that in there. Okay. This is going to give you some better information to work off of. If you've only been doing it for, let's just say, a week, or whatnot, then do the math. Go over the last week, do the math, how many leads you get, and then multiply that out by 30 days and project. Okay, you're gonna have to use some projections when you're coming up with any sort of numbers, because we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what the future holds. We don't necessarily know what's gonna happen. So then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move the old margin, the profit margin. We're gonna move it to what they said, 60. I think I can add it to a 1%. I think I might have done margins of 5. Let me see. Yeah. So I'm going to add it at 60. We're darn close enough. Okay. Here's a big one, guys. Working with a business owner, it's imperative that you find business owners that are going to actually take care and give a shit about the customers that you're sending them. Remember, these are your customers. These are not their customers. This is your business. This is not their business. Okay. And be willing to pay, since we are the bill that helps them pay all their other bills, is going to dictate based on their close ratio. Unfortunately, the amount of money you get paid actually is lead actually correlates directly with how good or bad they are. If they close 1 out of every 10 customers, okay, 10%, which is horrendous. 10% on this thing. I probably should go all the way down. But if they close 1 out of 10 versus 2 out of 10, differentiator of what it puts in their pocket and what it will put in your pocket is big. So this is why it's just as important for you to vet a business owner and for you to be in the controlling seat with a business owner as much as it is for them to vet you. You know, I see all these things with folks that say, hey, look, they want some portfolio. They want some references. Yeah, well, so do I. I want them to know, and this comes from a level of confidence that you guys have to get in business, but you guys got to understand you are the most valuable person in the room. When you can generate leads for a business, I sat with a business owner yesterday. He's like, man, leads are everything for me. Whatever it takes, you know, I'll buy radio. I'll buy a back page of a Homes magazine. I'll do whatever I got to do I got to keep my guys working. We're the most important people in the room. The only reason we wouldn't be the most important people in the room is if our confidence or our lack of confidence tells that business owner that we're nervous, we're scared, we're timid. And it's really important, guys, that you don't go that route. You got to be the alpha to a certain extent when you're selling or when you're pricing your products. And they have to know that you mean business and that you're not going to work with them unless they treat the customers well, that they answer the phones, that they at a minimum close at a certain dollar amount percentage, because it's going to cost everyone money. And when you can educate them on numbers and information that they've probably never ever seen before. That's why this is good. This calculator right here, guys, is going to be your guys' closing gold. Okay. You guys are going to use this thing in front of a business owner on your phone, on your tablet, on a laptop, whatever. You're going to put this in front of them or you're going to email it over to them, and you guys are going to go through this stuff together from here on out. No longer are the days of, oh, you know, it's worth about this much. We're going to get really scientific with this stuff on what's worth what. Okay, so let's keep moving on. So we're just going to throw that number at 20%. So out of every 10 leads you send this person, okay? Everyone hearing me okay? I haven't seen any chatter in the box in a little bit. Everyone can hear me? Fire me up some info if everything's coming through okay. Just chat it in the box underneath the video for me. Okay. All right. Let's moving on. Let me keep going here. 20% close rate. Okay. Average profit after expenses. Okay. So this is the profit that the business owner makes on a $165 job before the cost of buying the lead. Okay. Before the cost of buying the lead. Okay. That's what they're actually taking home off of this. This is really important for you guys because you guys have to walk a mile in their shoes. Okay. Based on their closing ratio, they're going to gain 30 new clients. And this is a calculation. This is a calculation that many of us don't ever talk to the business owner about. But let me tell you something. Groupon, which is, I had a Groupon business many years back that I sold and did very well on. And one of the things that we were taught, because I used some of the Groupon scripting, Success Leads Clues, I followed what they were doing. One of the things we were taught was we still directly correlate that these 30 customers are going to be repeat customers. I'm going to put that bug in the business owner's ear. Put that bug. I'm gonna say, listen. If I generate you 150 leads, and you only close 20% of them, you son of a bitch, you're gonna get 30 freaking new customers. New customers. Let's just say only 20% of those, because you did such a crappy ass job, come back and buy from you again and again and again. That's 6 reoccurring revenue that we're not even putting into this equation. Okay. That's 6 people that you just got as reoccurring clients. And if you did a damn better job, you'd have all 30 of them, right? So I'm kind of joking around, obviously. Okay. So the actual value of the lead for the business owner, and what I mean by this, I don't want you guys to get this incorrect. Why I put this in there is all business owners they think small. They think small. And so when they get 8 calls in a row and the person doesn't buy, they start questioning, well, man, I'm paying per lead. It's like, dude, this is really every call you get, you just made $33. You got to start looking at the person that bought and the person that didn't buy. You just put $33 in your pocket, no matter how you want to splice it. Okay. And all that is the close rate divided by this. Okay. So it's just coming up with that number. Obviously, if the close rate goes up, that goes up, right? See? Okay. So this number, they need to start understanding. They need to start thinking like a big boy, big girl. And you need to let them know that, hey, every one of these leads, buy, don't buy, or draw, you're making money. And you got to start thinking that way. Otherwise, you're going to freaking stay small. Okay. So the net margin value of the lead, $20. Okay. Net margin value of the lead, actual value. So the actual value times the gross. Okay. You don't need to get into much on that. I'll just put some of these numbers I geek out on. Okay. Total monthly revenue. So how do we come up with this? Come up with total monthly revenue is you're saying, listen, if I send you 150 leads at your current profit margin, extra $5K this month, $4,900. Okay, because you're gonna get 30 new customers, and you're gonna make about $99 per. Okay, but we're taking in the full value, right? And we'll show you the profit. That brings you to $2,970, right? So net 30 times 99 is $2,970. 30 times 5 is this number. Total rev, total profit. You're gonna make 5 after your expenses. You're gonna keep $2,970. Now they haven't paid for leads yet at this point. Okay. They haven't paid for leads yet at this point. So what should you charge per your lead? What should you charge? So this gives you a low, a high, and a mid-level value of what the lead is worth, okay? And the way that these equations were broken down, they're a percentage rate, a very low end as it pertains to an advertising budget to what a company on the high end, top end, maybe not even quite the top end, what they would be spending on advertising or what they could be spending on advertising. So again, this gives you some raw data that you can put in front of their head. And yeah, if they're going to gravitate towards the low, if you show them this, we're going to have several of these calculators. This one might be just for you. Okay. But for you guys, you got 5, you got 7, you got $8. This gives you guys some pricing, why and where you should be. You can also use this as a negotiation tool if you want to show them this based on their close rate. Everything affects the value of the lead, right? So if they're a better closer, it's going to increase the high-end value of the lead because they're getting 45 customers. So you might sell them if they close at 10% higher, and this is where you can incentivize them, is say, look, I'll sell you the low-end pricing if you do your job and you treat these customers like gold and you close at 3 out of 10. But when you close at 20%, hey, man, we're going to be at the mid-level. And when you close at 10%, we got to adjust accordingly. I got to be on the high end, and I might not even be working with you. Okay? The way that you find what their close rate is you ask them. Okay, there's no scientific way unless they keep great track and they're a great business owner. But you're going to know really quick, Michael. You're going to know really quick what their close rate is when you send them 10 rock solid leads and they tell you I didn't get one of those. Okay, your close rate's freaking 0. Okay, or you get the honest one that says, yeah, I got 3 of those clients. Dan, freaking awesome. You're a 30% closer, my man. Okay. And now we got some numbers to work off with. There's a menu selling training I did for you guys. You can use this in your menu selling when you're working on your pricing. But listen, this is a two-way street. This is a two-way street on them. Of course, you're not going to be adjusting this thing every time you sit down with them. You're going to try to agree on some numbers based on the data they're giving you. But, I'll tell you one thing. Business owners are incredibly cocky. More times than not, when I say, hey, out of 10 phone calls, how many you get? Oh, I sell 5 out of 10. Right? They'll tell you these crazy numbers. When they tell me that, I show them these numbers, or I show them a breakdown, and I say, okay, let's say you close 5 out of 10, but let's just say you're having a really bad month, and let's just say you close at 20%. So let's be really conservative. I like to give them the conservative route, because then when I show them, I'll show you the gap here in just a second. So they told me I'll get 4 or 5 out of 10. I say you're going to get 1 to 2 out of 10. Okay. And then we're going to figure our numbers off that. So if you were to send these folks 150 phone calls / leads this month, close rate, you're going to get 30 new customers. You're going to gross 49. You're going to profit 29 before you paid for your advertising. Okay. These would be the cost of leads. Guys, if you want to sell this as a flat monthly fee, here's where your prices are going to line up. So you could, I think, let me refresh this. That's wrong. Hang tight. Let me refresh. Back in. Sometimes that calculator, you got to refresh it if you keep jacking numbers into it nonstop. This is backwards. I'll fix that for you. I just put this up right before. Either way, you're gonna have your numbers. Fee. Oh no, this isn't bad. I'm on the wrong one. Here's your low end. Here's your mid level. Here's your high. This is if we're closing at 20%, 60% margin. Oh, it says 21%. Okay, 30 customers. Okay, what would the monthly profit be? I skipped my line. So after they pay you for the leads, they're going to make 2,200. They're going to make 19. They're going to make 17. Now check this out. Check this out. This is what the value of what you should be charging, about $750 a month for a job like that. Okay. About 1,000 mid-level and about 1,200 high level. Okay. For the job, and this is taking everything into account. This is taking how much money they made. This shows you what you're making. It's a fair deal. It's a fair deal for them. It's a fair deal for you. Okay. Check this out though. They told you, so remember these numbers right here. 750, 1,050, 1,200 bucks. Want to close a flat fee deal, have guaranteed income? Okay, check this out. You said, Mr. Business Owner, Mrs. Business Owner, you told me you're going to do 4 to 5 out of 10, close rate. You're going to get 40 to 50%. Let's just call that 5, $750 a month, all the way up to about a $1,200 a month fee. If you close at that, I want to show you where your revenue goes, how much money you make. From the same amount of leads, you're going to make about $6,600 net before paying for me. And these numbers would go up as well, but I'm going to keep them at those low. I'm going to keep them at the 20% numbers. This was 750. I think this was 12, whatever, 11, 12. Okay. And you're going to be making, $5,000, $6,000 a month from this and shelling out, between 750 to 1,200 bucks. So does that make sense to you guys? So you can show them the 20% pricing. Hey, what if I could do your close rate at 20%? We'll do a flat fee. Let's just take the mid-level flat fee and do $1,000 a month. Okay. And then let's just say you do your job really well, like you said you're going to, and you're going to close at 45%. Okay. Your profit's going through the roof on this. You got 68 new customers instead of 30. Okay. See how that works? How everything is affecting your pricing. And until you sit down with a business owner and you go through these things, you throwing out random ass numbers isn't the best strategy. And that's why I'm building this stuff for you guys. It's not the best strategy to make it make sense to these folks. When they can look at their profit at the end of the month based on the job you did them, and you show them like, look, hey, let's say I only got you 50 leads. Okay. Let's say I only got you 50 new phone calls. You can see how this affects. Sometimes I see some folks in the program and they're like, look, my guy's a cheapo and he should be paying me $1,000 a month flat fee. And I'm like, how many leads are you getting them? Well, I'm getting about 25 to 50 leads a month. And it's like, well, in reality, this is what you should be making. And in reality, if they're closing at 20%, that's what you should be making, right? Not enough leads. At the end of the day, you have to become the bill that pays all their other bills. When you can do that, they'll never let you go. That's why I've had clients for 8 years. I've had clients for 8 years because I'm like their phone line. Okay. They're not going to cancel their phone line. It's the thing that gets them all their business. They know they have to have it. You want to become that expense in a business where they don't even think about you as an expense, right? You're literally a built-in piece of their business, okay? So these things are true. You guys need to check yourself. You guys might be overcharging some of your businesses that you're working with. And listen, I'm all about getting high fees and all that stuff, but I also want you having longevity so you don't have a high attrition rate of losing clients. And until you walk a mile in someone else's shoes, see what you should be pricing and where you should really be at. Okay? Does that make sense? Does anyone got any questions as it pertains to this pricing? Now, this is on a dummy site. This page is going to go away, by the way, after this is done. And you guys will have it inside the training. So this will all be available to you guys inside the training. I'll post a link for you guys right here. This is just for this. There's a link inside of the training site, so you guys can go mess around with it there. You guys seeing how this stuff can work incredibly well to illustrate not only your value, but the amount of money you're going to put in their pocket. Okay? You guys see the value in this? Freaking worked on this for a while for you guys, so hopefully you guys see the value in it. This was a concept, and trust me, this isn't going to be the only tool that I get for you guys. I'm going to have different versions of this tool. So if you don't want to show the low, the mid, the high, and you want that for just yourself, when you're working on your own pricing, maybe you're going to go into a meeting and you just want a high value, I can make that for you guys. I think if we can recap some of this stuff, listen, man, I'll tell you what, our skill set of generating leads, learning how to do search engine optimization, being able to put up a website, doing what we do, okay, whatever capacity you go after it, you can use this. But guys, you got to become a professional in what they do too. Okay, you're a professional in what you do, and you know the value. You got to be willing to research the people that you're going to go and target. Call around. You know what? Maybe you don't find a page like this. This is my first search. I did carpet cleaning margins, right? Maybe you're going into underwater basket weaving, and no one wrote a blog on what the freaking profit margins are in underwater basket weaving. Okay, I should be able to write that soon because I think I talk about it all the time. But maybe that's something you come into. How do you solve that if you can't find the information on what the margin is? I got an idea. Call 3 states over and say, hey, look, this is going to sound really strange. I'm looking to get into underwater basket weaving business, and I'm 3 states over, so I will never be any competition for you. I'm trying to do some research here. What would you say the margins are? How does that shake out for you? And I really appreciate your time. Do you like Starbucks? I'd love to send you a Starbucks gift card for taking a few minutes with me. Okay. So that's one way, is call. And don't just call one, call 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, before you know it, it didn't seem like a sales call, but that person you just sent a $5 gift card to via Starbucks and you made a friend on Facebook, they'll be your next client if you're smart about networking and staying in touch with them and sending them a thank you card in the mail. You got a license to pitch that person once you make your underwater basket weaving business boom. Does that make sense? So many ways to freaking use every conversation you have in life to your advantage when you have the skill sets that we teach you guys in this program. Okay? So many ways to dominate. So let me restate. We're gonna educate ourselves on the industry we're going into. If we can't find the information on Google, the old Google machine, the free searches, we all get them. We're gonna call a couple states over. We're gonna have a conversation, and we're gonna thank the person and value their time. And we're gonna send them a $5, $10 gift card, or we're just gonna send them a thank you card in the mail that says, "Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to me. It really helped my business. I'll keep you in the loop if I figure anything out, or if there's anything I can share with you." Build your underwater basket weaving lead gen site in your market, And, 3 months later, when business is booming from you, maybe you send them over a screencast video and say, oh my gosh, I want to thank you again. You gave me some great insight when I was initially researching this. I'm doing great now. Here's what I'm doing. If you ever like to talk about it, I could teach you a couple of things that I'm doing. Maybe you can implement it for your own business, and ding, ding, ding. What do business owners don't want to do? Learn all the stuff that you guys are sitting here learning to do. Okay. So that's that. As far as pricing, questions. You can do the math on. It. You guys, I'm not going to do the math. Sit here and do the math for you on what the percentages are. Just do the math. We're all smart. We all have calculators. We all have the Google machine. Put the math in. If I charge a low value lead and the average profit is X, figure out what the margin is on that. I got to get you guys, not all you guys, I got to get some of you guys out of your own way. That's my job right now. Get you out of your own freaking way. And so many of us stand in our own way because we're so scared shitless of what if I price it wrong? Or what if they don't like me? What if this? Dude, what if you freaking are broke a little bit longer? Like, isn't that scarier? So some of us got to get out of our own way. And I'm trying to take every barrier that you guys are running into in this business away from you, so you don't have any reason to not get out there and talk business with people. Do you know, if you guys should, every one of you guys on Tuesday night, it is Tuesday night, you guys need to watch The Profit. And I'm gonna tell you why. Not because you're gonna learn, so it's very scripted. You can tell now it's very, very scripted for drama, but that's fine. The one thing I will tell you about The Profit is he's working with small business owners. And the one thing you'll notice, and I've almost watched every one of The Profit episodes, is that, and you'll see this on Shark Tank as well, these business owners don't know their own numbers, okay? These business owners do not know their own numbers. You're going to know more than these business owners know about their own numbers when you go and meet with them. And you're going to show them a roadmap to success. And they're going to be blown away by, it's not just another blind pitch. Okay. Oh, it's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. It's not just going to be words. It's going to be raw data that they gave you. Okay. That's big. And knowing what I know about small business owners in how they operate, they generally don't take the time because they're wearing a lot of hats. They're cooking, they're cleaning, they're doing everything. And they never spent the time to really understand this number is very important. If they knew that Susie, the receptionist, was a bitch to the people that were calling in on the line, and she was treating the customers like dirt, and every one of those customers was a $33 bill, go buy or draw, okay? And Susie or Jimmy had a bad day, he's freaking hungover, he answers the phone, doesn't give two shits about the customer on the other end, and he's a jerk. If they knew that every one of those calls was worth $33 in their pocket, win, lose, or draw, they might say, man, I need to do something with Jimmy, or I need to look at my business a little bit closer. If you were to challenge a business owner and say, hey, how many calls did you get last month and how many customers did you get? Do you know that number? And I can pretty much guarantee you no one knows that number. No small business owner knows that number, meaning their advertising dollars, they're pissing down their legs. Okay, their marketing money they're using, they're pissing down their legs. And until someone smarter comes in and helps their eyes get open to this, okay, and this is just front end money, guys. We're not even talking about these return customers for more freaking underwater baskets, because who doesn't want more underwater baskets, right? So we're not even talking about that. And this is also really designed for a front end heavy business, okay? Meaning, if you sold, I'm going to show you guys something right now I'm working on today. Can you guys see this? Hold on a second. I'm scrolling up to see if I can see my own screen. Let's see. Can you guys see my pool? Come on. I think you can. You guys can see it now. There's a little lag on this thing, okay? This site right here, I've been building this, okay? I built, by the way, just want to give a shout out to a couple JKers that I got content done for. I got to edit some of it still. But yesterday morning, I did some research. I found that this was going to be a wide open niche. I went out to my pool. I took a video on my iPhone, okay? Haven't got a tracking number yet or anything like that. Okay. And I have this great looking site. Okay. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. I got a contact us. I got a home. I got all this stuff, right? I haven't finished it up completely. I got a ton of content. I got over 1,500 words on the homepage. I got this cool looking thing at the bottom that's my pool. I just filmed it and then I made it like a little video. It's pretty cool. Okay. Right. Yesterday, right? Pool cleaning is a service. When you get one client in pool cleaning, like I have a guy that cleans my pool, and one time, it's not a high volume lead business, right? It's a low volume. You might get one call, but that person might be with you for 5, 10 years. You never know. Paying $150 a month, $130 a month, boom, 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 boom. So there's industries where this calculator, it can't even take into account the industry you're getting into. If I get the pool guy, and let's say the margins, and I don't know what the margins are on pool. We can look that up in just a second. Let's say I get this pool guy, average ticket in the pool job is about 140 for my guy. I don't think I'm going to get too many leads. I'm probably going to get 20 leads a month. And maybe I get them 4 new customers a month, but those are stacking on top of each other every month. Okay. So you got to know this part of the business too, with whatever industry or niche you get into. House cleaning is very similar. There's a lot of house cleaning where it is a reoccurring client. It's not just new customers. It's not always just a new revolving door customer. And you're going to have to price your services according to that as well. So knowing the industry, knowing the niche, I'm going into this space. I'm going to do some freaking awesome training on cash flow for you guys. Okay. Can't find margins for a towing company. Around. If you can't find it on Google, you call around. As simple as that. It's one phone call. You'll figure it out really quickly, but I imagine you can find it. Where was I? Oh, I'm going to do some cash flow training. If any of you guys have played the board game Cash Flow, all need to play it. It's freaking awesome. Okay. But I'm looking at business a little differently right now. I'm looking at business from a cash flow standpoint. And I went into this niche for a very specific reason. First of all, it was low hanging fruit. Okay. And I have it all documented. It's all going to be part of 3.0. Okay. It's low hanging fruit for me. I can dominate this niche. I have a warm contact that I know if I can't get this to the right business owner, at the very least, I'm going to pick up $140 a month in cash flow, because I'm not going to be spending that money every month going forward, because I'll trade it out if I have to. And if I'm not spending 140, I'm making 140 to my bottom line. So guys, all these things are coming out in the new training. I'm going to get you guys more entrepreneurial, more savvy, hopefully, not just focused on citations and backlinks. Dude, I freaking can't stand that stuff. I understand it's a necessary evil, but so many of us geek out on the wrong stuff. Okay. Do I know how to do it? Yes, I do. Aspect of it. But is it what's going to make you entrepreneur? No, it's not. Okay. The rest of this stuff is. Okay. Those are just that's just the picks and the shovels. Okay. To help us build. That's it. It's just the hammer and the nails is the citations and the Weebly sites and whatever. Yeah, it's a necessary evil. We got to know how to do them, but we shouldn't be spending 2 hours every week on these calls going over the same stuff. It's all in the training Facebook group. I want these calls to be actually tooling in your business. Tooling in your business, not tooling in the strategies that we want to geek out on. You guys got some questions for me with basically what I wanted to talk about, unless you guys have some other questions you want to fire at me inside the chat here. I'd be happy to answer them. Just know I'm on a little bit of a delay. I'll wait on you guys a second. This too. I got to fix this. I just pasted this. By the way, I'll say this while someone's asking a question. This site, and I'm $80 in total. So anyone want to in one day I just created an asset for myself in one day with $80. One day with $80. That's what I paid for my content. I might have paid a little less even. I can't even remember. I paid $15 an hour and I hired multiple people and I said that I want it done within the next 2 hours. And they both got it back to me. Done. Okay, 2 hours of total work. Questions? Questions, questions, questions? Calculator is not an app. It's just on the site. It's mobile friendly though, so you can use it on your phone. Other questions? Keeping what up? The calculator? It's in the program. Right there, man. Do you have to worry about bandwidth? No. I'll never touch it. It's built for lots of views, trust me. Taking down page on landerpage.weebly.com. I'm taking this down. This was just for this live stream. That was all. You got it, Sage. No problem. I got a lot of other cool things coming out, guys. You guys, I'm going to blow you guys away. I've been working diggity dog to get this training done for you guys, and it's thorough, and it's freaking, it's money. I'm gonna work on you guys so hard on your guys' freaking brain. Entrepreneur. I'm not that smart. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. I am not that smart. Basic dude. Okay, I can get up a Weebly site. Don't like doing the content. Will do it for me. Yeah, Donna, you're right. This, whether you're, and this is the frustrating thing for me, is it's like we get so caught up in, and we're, oh, I don't want to do lead gen sites. I don't like leads. Okay, then don't do them. I have businesses pay me every day. I have entrepreneurs like yourself pay me every day to be a consultant. Guys, you guys know, I'm willing to go out there and ask for people to pay me for it. And I went and sat with a company yesterday. They spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing. And oh shit, I'm going to tell you straight up, they didn't know shit. And I just consulted with them for an hour. Value into them like I'm doing with you guys right now. And I just said, this is what you got to do, and this is what you got to do, and this is what you got to do. And they're like blown away. And you're right, Donna. We don't always have to be the person that just does the work or what have you. We can split this thing so many different ways. Consult. We can do it as a service. We can own the assets like I'm doing with my new site here, this pool site. We could do it however you want, and it's a matter of making a decision. Like, do you want to be an entrepreneur or not? It comes down to. All right, let's see. Hayden's got a question. Quoting a large deal, 7 websites total, starting with 3, national SEO for semi-obscure niches, seeming like I'll be able to rank with influence alone. He wants me to keep monthly costs low. Pitching $1,000 a month each, plus on third spot organic, 1,500 second, and 2,000 first best keywords. Discovery meeting was today. He turned on the 2 results. He's ranking top 10 for most keywords, needs more location-specific rankings. So mentioned he spends a little north of 6 figures on AdWords across companies per year. Think my pricing is spot on or too low? Well, number one, I'm not one that sells rankings. I think it's a foolish way to build your business. And here's why, Hayden. When you sell rankings of I'm spot 1, I'm spot 2, I'm spot 3, you're truly not in control of that. And I've been doing this long enough to know that spot 1, spot 2, spot 3 are great. Of course, who doesn't want to have them? But at the end of the day, if you were to pick up more obscure keywords or maybe find other areas and exploit other keywords not on his list, maybe that his competitors are going after and a couple things like that, and it jacks up his results. Like that strategy better than just this, here's how I get paid and here's how I don't get paid. So that's what I'll say to you on that. Without looking at the project specifically, I can't tell you if you're too high or too low because I know nothing. I don't know the project. I don't know the competition. I don't know how tough it is. And those are things I'd like to look at to see, how long will it take you to dominate the spots? If he's spending 6 figures on AdWords, he's clearly got a budget, 6 figures a year. So he's spending about $8-9 grand a month on it. So, he wants to be in those top spots. He's going to end up spending $7 grand a month with you if you do what you've proposed to him, upwards of 14. So, you got to bring the wood if you're going to do this deal. But, I think you got to also don't get too far into just keyword rankings because you don't own Google. You just play by the rules that they've set. And sometimes they can hold you at number 4. And I'd hate to see that you don't get paid by being in spot 4, even though his results have went through the roof because of it. You see what I'm saying? So I just don't like boxing myself into that type of a deal. I like boxing myself into bottom line and to the business. Okay. Gotcha. How do we come up with a fee? Well, it really depends on, hold on a second. It depends a little bit on what you're selling. So a setup fee for what? A website? A setup fee for what? Like, need to know a little bit more about what we're setting it up. We do have a calculator that is going to be set up for how you price out just like a web build out. And it breaks down a lot of those things. But if you have a setup fee, like in my experience, I had a setup fee in my first business and it was all bullshit. It was just a negotiator. That's all I used it for. Setup fee was $195. It's $250 a month. This was for email marketing. And people would be like, well, why do I have to pay the setup fee? I'm like, because it's a setup fee. I got to get you in the system. I got to get you all set up. And then I'd say, hold on a second. Let me ask you this. If I was able to waive that setup fee, can we get this going right now? Well, yeah, if you could waive that setup fee, it was all air, just like a gym. The gym membership business, the setup fee is all bullshit. You guys all know that. Like you go into 24 Hour Fitness, it's $200 setup fee for what? We'll set you up. Well, we're waiving that today if you sign up right now. It's a closing tool. Setup fees are always been closing tools. So you need to make your, I don't think there is an accurate setup fee because I think most setup fees are bullshit. Okay. Monkey see, monkey do. Majority of businesses jump on the PPC bandwagon blind. Guys, please get psychopathic sales and touchable. Thanks, man. With Go Fast Look Sexy, should I go after someone with AdWords when they are already advertising with AdWords? They told me they took referrals, but not sure if I should be competing with them for their own AdWords campaign. You can. I mean, Thomas, you can go after whoever you want. Again, remember they're looking for why they're in AdWords. Don't always believe that you're competing with them. I mean, AdWords, depending on the words that they're going after and the words you're going after, you might not be competing at all. And you're bringing them totally fresh clients that they weren't getting. Right. So there's stuff like that. But whoever you go after, it doesn't necessarily matter. The key with the Go Fast Look Sexy is it's fast and you don't have to do, even though I did it fairly quickly, because I used outsourced work, I built this entire site. In Go Fast Look Sexy, I wouldn't have to do this up front. I make a quick site, down and dirty, quickly run AdWords, get phone calls, the whole deal. By the way, there's new training coming out with some ad stuff that's going to be hot off the press that you guys are going to really like. We're not going to shit can AdWords Express because I think there's some value in the speed of it. We're going to move into more strategies that I've been working with that are working real well. I lost connect, but would you mind giving me a quick spiel on what you say when you call up different business owners in other cities to pick their brain regarding getting some industry stats so you can use the info? Yeah, this is going to sound really weird. I was just on Google. You had really great reviews, and California, you're over in Idaho or whatever. I'm thinking about getting into the carpet cleaning space. Any insight? And I know your time's valuable, and I'm happy to pay you for your time. But I just need some insight if this is a good space to get into. Like, what kind of margins should I be building out my business model on? I mean, guys, honestly, most of this information is in forums and different places if you just spend the time. But something like that. I mean, I remember when I got into the window tint business, I called a guy. I was in Oregon. I called a guy off of Facebook. I found a window tint forum. All these window tinters unite or whatever it was called, and I called him up. And I was like, dude, I'm getting into this thing. Should I do this? Like, what do you think? How long you been in the industry? And one thing you'll find out about business owners is everyone likes to talk about themselves and how great they are. And so, man, they spent some time with me on the phone. Just freaking, I made a friend with the guy. I stayed in touch with the guy, the whole deal. People are generally pretty cool when you're not trying to sell them anything. They're not so. It's not like a sales call. You know, you're just, if they hang out and say, "No, man, I don't got time to talk to you." Cool, no problem. Find someone. Okay. Go fast, be sexy. Yeah. Any more questions, guys? You guys want to do anything specifically? You guys all know where to find the calculator. You guys can go mess around with that a little bit. More tools coming out for you guys. Then type your questions. If you got them, type them. I had this gal. I'm just kind of messing with you. I had this gal today. She said, "Hey Dan, question, a potential someone. So I'm trying to hire someone, and I want to get your feedback because they've worked for you. Can I ask you a question?" And she sent the email, and I'm like, and that was the send. Instead of telling me the question, and I wrote back, I'm like, yeah, you can ask the question. Ask the question. Now we're gonna have 4 email strings to get the question out. So if you got questions, just fire them in. That's what I'm here for. Timing. People ask me every time. I have no clue. When it's done, it's done. It's got to be perfect. So I don't know. I'm thinking first of the year. I'm showing you some of the tools now, so you guys can get your hands on them. I'm training you on a little bit of them, so you guys can get your hands on them, start working with it. But you know, for most of you guys, 3.0 is not going to be, other than these tools in the training. The influence is going to change up a ton. I'm changing the whole way influence is done. It's way too clunky. It's silly. It's you know, hosting plans and this. We're going to make that thing a lot sexier, faster. I've been doing that. I made a lot of money in this space, and I got some very strong feelings about how to be faster and more efficient, because I don't believe in local. National level, you got to cover your ass like crazy because you're playing on a big boy scale. And I think on those levels, doing all the different hosting and those things, it's so expensive. So I think, and I can prove this to you guys, on a local level, I think we can move at such a more rapid pace for, you know, doing some backlinking strategies and getting those things done where they're not so clunky, and using these influence sites in multiple ways. I don't want you to just use an influence site to talk about the air or, you know, sheep or freaking whatever. Like, why not, right? Why not make it a local lead gen site? It might be called ShepardSmith.com. Smith.com is, you know, El Dorado Hills #1 resource for freaking pool cleaners, you know, and it's a blog. So I think we can use these things. And I can tell you, I did a lot of, you know, I talk I did a lot of backlinking strategies that weren't, I guess, not influential sites. I would just do them with my own sites, and I'd link a lot of stuff together. But there's some strategies we can do, and we can get smarter and be more efficient with our spend, I think, so that long term these things are assets. And Brad kind of touched on it with some of the affiliate stuff, because his mind is more affiliate driven, but mine's more local driven. Stuff is like, man, if I buy freaking shepherdsmith.com, if that's the expired domain that gets handed off to me, I'm going to use that in my local marketplace as some sort of a site. I mean, shoot, the name of my window tint company was Trifer. What does that mean? It means nothing, but it still did fine. And it was a window tint business. So the name of your domain, I know some of them are really goofy and you got to get really creative, but the bottom line is we can do a lot of stuff with those. They don't have to just be these WordPress blogs. That's silly, okay? Because just WordPress blogs alone, I mean, we could throw up we could throw these things up on a GoDaddy site builder. I mean, look at sites. When you guys do, I've spent the entire week, well, maybe the last 2 weeks, doing keyword research on different niches, okay? And I've seen some of the crappiest freaking influential sites powering up sites in Los Angeles and things like that. And you look at these sites, and it's not like they're WordPress blogs. These things are full on, like, old sites that have just been around since freaking the internet was here, and they're highly influential. So I want to kind of twist our mind a little bit and start thinking outside the box of just the traditional way of doing influence, and make the whole process way simpler. And I think that's a goal for us going forward, is to simplify everything, including our pricing. How do we price stuff? We just simplified that a ton for us. You see what I'm saying? So there's going to be some really cool stuff. Yeah, influence setup sucks. Like, let's just be honest. Like, it sucks. So Facebook ads, no, that's not going to be Brad's ad stuff. No, it's Brad's working on, Brad's been very successful running ads for us. And he's working with just a handful of really high-end coaches and consultants. So Brad's ads is a very, very small project he's working on just refining his Facebook ad skills. It literally wouldn't have any value to this program, because it's not specific to local. It's very specific to like a job killing type of a program. And this production, and there's a handful of clients out there that need help with that type of stuff. And so, it's a few students types of thing that will be in that program here and there, but it definitely will not be inside of this program. When searching for domains, how important is the name? I think each can be used up to 5 times. What should a domain name strategy be? Putting up several sites. I think each can be used up to 5 times. I'm not sure what you mean by each can be used up to 5 times. Not sure. But I can tell you what GeoCities. I can tell you my whole thing on domain names is people overthink the heck out of them. People want to have the perfect exact match domain. Guys, you could own, like I said, you could own Trifer.com or whatever, and it could be a window tint site, and it doesn't say window tint in. I know, again, this is the whole idea of what we've trained you guys. We're like, hey, buy it windowtinteugene.com, and that works, okay? But owning another name is fine as long as your content reflects that, right? This site right here that you're looking at, this Eldorado EDH pool cleaner, yeah, I kind of did like an exact match. I abbreviated, put pool cleaner in there, but I could have called this EDHPC.com, and it would have been just fine, because the site's going to be all about pool cleaning. The titles are going to be all about pool cleaning. I haven't titled it yet. Okay. I haven't finished that research yet. Everything's going to be, all the content is going to be about that. Okay. All the tags, all the images, everything is going to be about what the site's about. And the search engines are not dumb. They get it. They can read your sites. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. WordPress is a nice front builder. Cool. 1 influence, 3 different money sites. Thoughts? Yeah, you can use 1 influence for 3 sites. Absolutely. What's the influence's name, Brian? What's the influence? What's the name of the site? I can give you the ideas really quick. Donna, also use 5 sites with the same domain. I still don't know what you mean by this. I have no idea what you mean by using 5 sites with the same domain. I don't know if you mean like you're forwarding domains, but you just need one domain for one site. Don't overthink this. Super, super simple. It will need its own domain, yes. hcbdonline.com. Okay. I mean, that could be about anything. That could be, yeah, no problem. I disregard it. That domain name could be a directory in your local market for whatever niches you want to hit on, outdoor services. I mean, you could do a million things with that. And you don't have to have, lengthy content and stuff like that. You could just directory list sites. Okay. You can make a little, you could make a 1-page Weebly site with that. Okay. And link out to a competitor. One thing I like to do with backlinking from some of my sites is I'll write a review from like, hey, I'll pull one up for you guys. You guys can see it here. Let's pull this up here. I think I did it on this site. Let me double check. Weebly site, obviously. You could do a link like this. You could put an image. I didn't do it on this, but you could put an image and link. That you can give yourself a link from this HCBD online and put some different, that looks very natural when you have different sites or different areas that use this service. But this isn't the site I wanted to show you. I've done quite a bit of backlinking. I just have to remember the sites. Did quite a bit of backlinking where I put like a review. I'll just kind of write a review like, hey, I had a great experience at this business or whatever, and then I'll put like, this person, Eugene Dentist or whatever, and link back to it. So you can do stuff like that. Just get creative. Don't overthink it. This is the thing I think that. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Fear is one of the biggest reasons why people can't get ahead in life. They can't get out of their own way. They're so fearful of the what if. They're so fearful. They live in a state of fear. They're fearful of the law. I'm not saying don't be fearful of the law, but you know what I'm saying? The reason we don't break the law is what the repercussions, right? We don't want that. So it's, there's a consequence. But oftentimes we're so fearful of what if I do something wrong? Or what if I go put up a site and I link back from an image and it's not perfect? It's like, dude, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. We in the local space, this is why I keep coming back to local. In the local space, guys, we don't have this big magnifying glass on us. Okay, if you're trying to rank for golf clubs and you're playing against big players and that type of stuff, yeah, maybe, maybe you got to be a little bit more cautious. But when we're worried about, I see this come in, did I get sandboxed in Google? I would love to see someone, if someone could show me that they've been quote unquote sandboxed. It ain't happening. It's happened. It happens when you get incredibly spammy. You're going way crazy. I've tried to do it, couldn't get it done. And we're worried about like 3 or 4 links. Check this out. I'm gonna show you guys something. Watch this. I'm gonna turn on SEO Quake. This is in some of the training, so I can just show you the stuff. This is in the new training. We're gonna go to pool cleaning. Check this out though. Pool cleaning or pool cleaner El Dorado Hills, right? I want to show you something. My competition here. This is number 1. Okay, this guy's number 1. We got 6 backlinks. Okay, 6 backlinks. Okay, I don't need that much juice to beat this dude. Okay, he's got 21 pages. He's got 6 backlinks. I can go research the backlinks if I want to. That's number 1. That's first guy. And this is true. I went to LA. Okay, I'm gonna show you this next. I went to LA, and I found the number one person in LA for pool cleaning. I think they had like, I don't even know if they had a backlink. Okay, hold on a second. Hey, look at that. At least they use Weebly, right? Man, they spent a lot of time on that content. Wow. 0 backlinks. Not worried about them. Okay. Number 3 in charge. This look like low-hanging fruit to you? It looked like it to me. That's why I'm going into the niche. Okay. 0. These local business owners don't know what they're doing. Okay. We can't be fearful of sending a couple backlinks or using some of our, doing some link circles and things like that. You know, get the stuff up, you know, get into the right niches, you know. More questions. You guys got more questions? Got a Kiwanis Club site as influence. Can you look at the bottom of the page and see if that's okay? I guarantee it's okay. Guarantee it. I haven't even looked at it yet, but I'll look at it for you live. This is where you're linking to this. I don't know what you're linking to. Or are you linking to this right here? Yeah, it looks great. It will work just fine. This is the key, guys. It's we're overthinking ourselves too much on everything we do because we're living in a state of fear of the what if. And that's my fault. That's our fault because we tried to train perfection of every potential. Man, I'm not scared of shit anymore. Okay. And I want you guys to be on the same board with me. I'm just not scared of it anymore. I'm not scared of the what ifs in life. I don't got time to worry. It takes me so long to worry. Did I do everything perfectly? And was everything perfectly done? And you spend so much time worrying about all that you never do anything. Well, what if I don't do it perfectly? What if it's not exactly the standard? Well, who set the standard? I know we did. Okay. But we just did this ourselves. Like we were just courageous enough to just go out there and do it. And we're trying to be as good guys. We're trying to train you every little thing that could, should, maybe happen. But a lot of times, you know, what happens is you don't go out there and do it all together. And that's why that pricing tool that we're showing you guys is so perfect. It's so awesome. It's because I'm just telling you, hey, this is what a lead's worth. Now go tell them that's what it's worth. Okay? Who came up with the math on it? Me. Who makes me right? I don't know. I do. I make me right. Because when I showed that to business owners yesterday, it made all the sense in the world to them. It was in black and white. It was in ink. Okay? I based it off some basic numbers, you know, average advertising costs and those types of things. But at the end of the day, I'm just taking away the guesswork and I'm leaving fear on the porch. And stop worrying about the what ifs. Well, what if they ask me, you know, how those numbers came up with? Okay, let them ask. Okay, or this site right here, is it okay? It's great. It's great. You got yourself a backlink. And if you look at who you're dealing with in your marketplace, I don't know. Let's look at your site real quick. Great looking site, by the way. I like your quote. Right now, and you probably do have some backlinks that are just not registered yet. You know, but you know, it's more backlinks. It's more backlinks than you had before you put that backlink out there. It's 1 more than 0. Okay. That's awesome. That's moving you in the right direction. And tomorrow, you know what you might do? You might throw up a YouTube video, throw a backlink in there. Is it a really strong backlink? Nope. But it's 1 more than you had today. Right. And this is the stuff. This looks great. Okay. This looks, you need to even your site out though. You know what I'd like you to do is possibly take it from right here and have this go wide like I did here. I think it looks, where did I go? Let's go back here. I want you to go, see how this breaks, the content breaks and then it goes wide. I think it looks better. I think you just having all this dead space on your site, by the way, it just looks weird. It's really long. So go wide with it. Go wide, put some page breaks in it. You know, you guys can do some stuff with that. It's real simple to do. Easy stuff. Site looks fantastic though. Okay. You did a great job, but every day you just get an extra backlink there. Okay. It's helping it, whether it's from an influence site, whether it's from a link circle, Guys, what you have to understand is the competitors that you're going against, they're not doing this stuff at any level. They have no idea. So you just doing a little bit every day for your business is going to move you ahead. Going to put you in the right direction. It's a good looking site. Click to calls there. I'm going to look at one thing here. What are you trying to... Your Septic Installation Pros is what you titled your site. That's just so you know, if you're trying to rank for that, Septic Installation Pros, that's what you named your site to Google. The first thing you named them. Okay? Septic Installation Pros. I spelled it wrong. Go figure. Okay? My guess, what's the name of your site? Septicinstallationpros.com. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be naming my site that. I don't think there's any search for that. I don't know how old this site is. Hang tight. I might be passing this thing by. I'd take a look at your title tag. I just don't see this being a smart move for Septic Installation Pros. That'd be the first thing that the search engines are reading. Okay. So that's that. But otherwise, man, fantastic looking site. I will tell you this: it's 3 pages long, and I know I differ in this, but let's look at your competition. Right now, you got 2 pages indexed right now because you probably turned your contact page off. And I'm not saying you can't rank without having more than 1 page, but let's be honest: the wider your site goes, the more areas for long tail traffic you're going to bring in. A 2-page site, in my opinion, isn't doing enough. You can generate leads from it, but this is an asset that you're going to own for years and years to come. Keep going at it, man. Keep adding to it. Keep loving on it every day. Okay, because you're going to bring in traffic from not just 1 page, but all those pages. You're going to get three visitors from an internal page, and 2 visitors from another one, and 8 visitors from there. And all those people see your phone call, they see your phone number, they call your business, they fill out this lead form. So that's definitely, I want bigger, broader footprints as we do it. You don't have to do it all at once. I mean, let's look at my site. Okay, I'm $80 into it. Where is it? I'm $80 into it. Okay, and I got all these pages done. Look at them. Okay, I've only been on this project for 2 hours. Why is my project 2 hours old? And my footprint is 6 times yours, right? I've got no backlinks or anything yet. I literally just published this a few hours ago, but I'm an authority in my marketplace now. Okay, I know that the people that I'm going against, they didn't take the time. They didn't spend the $80 to have someone do the content for them. So they put all of, we can look at them. Let's look at them. They put all of 24 words on their homepage. Okay, and they got a couple pages with nothing there, right? Just like, they didn't spend any time on their asset. Okay, but they're ranking number 2. They're ranking number 2, right? So this is all stuff that you got to look at these things as long-term plays, and so be willing to continue loving on your site, continue to put in on it. And a lot of people, what they do is they get lazy. I'm not saying this is you, but a lot of people get lazy to the fact that, I don't want to put any more effort into this. I don't have a paying client for this yet. And it's like, man, who would say that about their business? If you were the pool repair guy and you had equipment and a truck you bought, like, dude, you're going to go and find customers. You're going to keep working on your business day in, day out, night in, night out, and so too often these sites are so freaking easy to get up. It's so easy to get up a site. I mean, a couple hours and I get this beauty. I could sell this for thousands of dollars, by the way, and I will. Okay. I got this beautiful site up, if I do say so myself. And, man, a couple hours of work, man, I got a freaking asset for years and years to come that I can use. I can start a business. I could go find a person. I can go find a person for $12, $15 an hour, put them through some training, and man, maybe I'll build a book of business of 400 houses paying me for pool cleaning services, and I get all my leads and I just outsource the work. And this one asset that I've spent 2 hours on so far is a huge book of business that I can turn. That's an entrepreneur. That's the thing that we have to turn this corner with everyone. It is, you don't have to just be a lead generator. You can be a consultant. You can be a business owner. You can be so many different things. Nathan, you can go up in the thread. I think I've posted it multiple times, the calculator. It's up in the thread. Someone else can post it again too. But guys, be willing to go to the mat for your businesses. Be willing to spend some extra time on them. Be willing to spend $80. If you don't have $80, then you need to go out there and you need to start hustling and get some money put together. Okay, that's foolish. Okay, you gotta hustle. We got money everywhere around us, everywhere. Okay, and like I told you, if this deal ends up being a flop, okay, what I do know is I'm spending $140 a month, and my pool guy, I don't believe he even has a website. Okay, and guess what? Promise you my pool work will be free. When I hand this over, I'll flip out all the words to be his name. Done. Dunzo. Okay? So that's cash flow for me. I just saved $140 a month rather than spend it. Okay? It's how your mind, we got to start shifting our minds, guys. How much would it really cost you guys or take for you guys to leave your job? Everyone's got the big goals, 10K, 20K, 30K. Those are great. But like just in income from projects like this, how many projects do you need to walk away to cover your bills? Do we even know that number? Do we know that number? Right? Have you guys spent the time to do one of these, a personal financial statement? Or you're gonna, in Job Killing in this next 3.0, you're gonna have to know what your mortgage is, what you're spending, okay, every month, and what your outgo is, so that you know really quickly, this is all I got to do to step away from the job and be free and get out of the rat race. I really encourage you guys to go play that game, Cash Flow. You can play it online for free somewhere. I think it's the Rich Dad Poor Dad game. Awesome game. More questions? More questions, more questions, more questions. We got any more? There you go. Cash flow. Yeah. Dude, if any of you guys ever want to play me, I'll play you guys. It's freaking awesome. Dude, I'm telling you. And I'm pretty good with money. I'm not going to lie. Decent with dough. This has changed the way, not I haven't read the book, but just the way I look at what I'm doing with how lazy even I can get with not building more of these assets or picking up more cash flow from doing stuff that's so freaking simple. This is simple, guys. What I did here, you guys are going to have the training. If you want to say it that looks exactly like this, you can have it done in 15 minutes. You get someone to do the content, you're done. Okay. And you got business owners out there that don't have any freaking sites. They have nothing. Okay. And this thing's going to be generating business soon. Okay. Guys, if this thing can even bring me $100 a month cash flow, that's great. Okay. $100 a month on positive cash flow month one. And it's like, I look at my rental home. I was just doing the math on it. My rental home. I spent $162,000 on this home. I own it free and clear. Okay. $162K. After taxes, after maintenance and repairs, after everything, I get $700 roughly. I rounded down. $700 a month. And I got 162,000 smackaroos invested into this rental home. And then I have a project like this that you're looking at here that I could potentially get $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $1,000 a month for, depending on how it produces. But even on the low end, if I only got $100, $200 a month, it cost me freaking $80 to put this together, and I didn't do the work. Right? A couple hours, a little bit of expertise and some know-how, how to find low-hanging fruit. We have it so good. Okay? We have it so good with this skill set, and I want you guys to double down on this stuff. Okay? I want you guys to double down on this stuff. I want you guys to get really serious about this and not be dabbling around. Okay? Don't be dabbling around with this. And you can't do this stuff in real estate. You got to have big money to pull this off in real estate. Man, that game will tell you, like, you start out as like a mechanic and you're making, at the end of the month, you got $300, $400, $500 left over. Man, you can't go buy real estate. And then I look at what we do and I'm like, my gosh, we have such a fantastic skill set, under our, and sometimes we're taking it for granted, and we're, I hear some people, I don't need to be spending time building out sites. It's like, but what if that site makes you $700 or $500 a month for the next 5 years of rental income? What if it generates leads? So you have leads coming in and you make $350 a month this year. That's $4,200. What a great return on your time and investment. It's crazy. Out of the freaking rat race, you want to kill your job? You got to get cash flow coming in. And we got a very unique skill set that can pull this stuff off to be able to produce stuff like this. It's awesome. How did you make the blue background on your EDH Pluciner site for the quote form in the pic? Yeah, I just used, I'll show you. I just used, if you can see my site, where we go. Oh, crap. I just clicked out of it. Hang tight. I'll show you. It's just a really simple little deal. It's under the apps designer, if you guys don't know how to do it. Hang tight. I'll do it later. So at the very bottom here, you just go to Google and Google Weebly App Center. It's the color block. So it's a third-party app. You just install the app and you can use it. Cool. Cash flow, awesome. Great book. Recommend change mindset. It's funny, guys. I actually, I got a call from the guy that owns Rich Dad Poor Dad the other day. He just had a chat with me. Didn't know he owned it, but he owns the entire brand. Kiyosaki owns some of the brand. And that's why I kind of got interested in the stuff. I started looking into it, but, yeah, it's pretty interesting phone call. The guy really, he's doing $220 million a year in his business, and then went through some shit, with some people, and kind of was just telling me how that stuff went. It's just really interesting conversation, but pretty cool guy. I thought I just always figured Kiyosaki owned the whole brand, but he's the face and he owns a piece of it. But the guy behind it is who I spoke with. Really great guy. Very interesting fellow. Gave me some great advice. So anyway, so any more questions, guys? Anything else? Alrighty. I'm going to shut her down then. I think this has been a good call. Hopefully you guys got some value out of it. It wasn't just the random questions of citations and backlinks and stuff like that. New training on its way, working hard at it every day for you guys, putting great stuff together for you guys on it. Brad on Thursday. Until then, you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll see you in the group. Later.